Jake Harper here, and I'm continuing in Matthew chapter 24, starting in verse 23. Then if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Christ," or "There," do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you beforehand. Therefore, if they say to you, "Look, he is in the desert," do not go out. Or, "Look, he is in the inner rooms," do not believe it. For as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. For wherever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered together. Nobody will have to tell you when Yeshua returns. You will know. If you're standing outside in a thunderstorm and you see lightning, is there any mistake? Do you have to wonder whether there was lightning or not? No, everybody sees it. Everybody around you. There have already been countless cults and would-be messiahs coming and saying, "Here I am, I'm Jesus, I've returned." The Jehovah's Witnesses, preterists even. I mean, great Christian people, but still they believe that Jesus has already returned. But everybody didn't know it. It was a secret or metaphor or something. But he very clearly says here, everybody will know. Like lightning flashing in the sky. Everybody sees it from horizon to horizon. Now, of course, he's not talking about just, the visible horizons. He's talking about the world. Everybody's going to know when he returns. He's not going to be in hiding. It's not going to be a secret return. There's no secret rapture. You won't have to be uncertain about it. So if you're questioning, if you're saying, could this guy be Yeshua? Could he be the Messiah? No. The answer is no. He's not it. Verse 24 says that these false Christs and false prophets will show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Miracles don't define the Messiah. He performed miracles, but lots of people have done that. Some of them just do tricks. Lots of show, David Copperfield kind of things. Other people do legitimate miracles. Satan does miracles. They're not the Messiah. That's not what defines him. The Messiah forgives sins. He keeps and he teaches God's law. He keeps the Sabbath. He keeps the feast days. He doesn't commit adultery. He's not a homosexual. He doesn't steal from people. He defends the weak. He denounces oppressors and the perverse. That's how you know the Messiah. Study the life of Yeshua in the scriptures. We've got the 4 Gospels. We've got the book of Acts. We've got Revelation. These are all personal accounts of people who saw the Messiah and accounts of his interactions with them. Study his words. Find out who he was and live like he did. Copy his actions. You keep the commandments. You teach the commandments to other people. You keep the Sabbath just like he did. Not like the Pharisees did with all their extra rules. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. You just do what God said to do. But what is this odd little thing at the end here? For wherever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered together. There's a parallel passage in Luke, and the one in Luke really struck me before the one in Matthew. And the first time I read it, it's at the end of chapter 17. It says, Yeshua is talking about, it's the same conversation, but the order is a little confused. Now, Luke is apparently much more conscientious about getting things in the right order. Matthew's more about getting the right point across. But Luke says, he's describing 2 men will be grinding, one taken and one left, 2 men in the field, one taken, one left. And the disciples answered and said, "Where, Lord?" So he said, "Wherever the body is, there the eagles will be gathered together," body being corpse. That sounds like they're asking, where will these people be taken? Where will this man or where will this woman be taken? And he replies, look for the eagles, the birds of prey, and they'll show you where the corpses are. That sounds like the ones taken are being killed. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't really know. I don't think this is talking about the rapture. But that's not what he's saying. This is probably an idiom that means essentially the same as where there's smoke, there's fire. Back in Matthew chapter 24, he says, see, I have told you beforehand in verse 25. That's what this is about. He's given us the signs. He's shown us himself. He has revealed himself, who he is. And he's told us that when he returns, everybody will see it. These are the signs. You will not be deceived if you know who the Messiah is. You won't be deceived by false prophets and false messiahs. Televangelists doing their healing rallies. Half the time these people are they're faking things. You can find videos on YouTube showing how some of these so-called miracle workers are faking their miracles. If they're not teaching, I'm not saying that all miracles are fake. That's not the point. The point is, real prophets, real disciples, live and teach what Yeshua lived and taught. They keep the commandments. Yeshua kept the commandments. His people keep the commandments. If anyone says to you, the Messiah is out here in the desert, well, right off you know that he's a false prophet. The Messiah is not out there in the desert. You'll know when the Messiah comes. But you only know this if you're paying attention to what Yeshua said. Listen to his words, and that's how you avoid being deceived. Know the real Messiah, and you won't be caught by the counterfeits. This is Jake Harper from American Torah. Be blessed.